Hello everyone, and welcome to BetaReborn, the series where I play a betaized version of modern Minecraft. And, well, here we are. This is episode 1 of, I don't know how many episodes we're going to do, we'll have to see, but I guess let us begin. Find a good tree, I guess we'll just cut this one down. One looks like a nice one. So yeah, I don't really know how many episodes I plan to do, and I don't really know where this series is going to go, so we'll have to see. So I guess we're going to be talking about what went wrong with Minecraft. I kind of mentioned that I want to really talk about that because a lot of people have questions about it, because I do talk a lot about nostalgic Minecraft and a lot about beta Minecraft and why do I think it's so good and all of that when, you know, it has a lot less features. So we're going to be talking about that today. And I guess let's just start with my experience with Minecraft. Let me kill this pig. Come here. My experience with Minecraft starts in early 2011. And I don't know when in early 2011. I think it was either March or May of that year. With watching the Yogscast. That's why I love the Yogscast so much, and the intro is inspired by them, as you can tell if you know about the series. But yeah, so I'm very inspired by the Yogscast and all that. And I watched the Shadow of Israfel series pretty much whenever it came out. And that was kind of my first big, like, whoa, this game is, like, different. Like, I used to, at that time, I think I was, like, watching Call of Duty. Maybe, I'm trying to think what other games were out at that time. I didn't play Roblox for a while. Also, what the? Okay, I didn't play Roblox for a while, so I don't even know about Roblox. I think probably it was just Call of Duty and maybe, like, some other games, like some Connect games or something. I don't remember. I was, like, 8 at the time, 7 or 8. Yeah, I mean, you know, I saw Minecraft and I saw the Shadow of Israfel series, and I'm like, this game is different. This game's not... I don't know if we want to go caving yet. Oh, that's a good idea. It's like, this is different. This is not just shooting people. This is not just anything. This is like something that's kind of revolutionary. And I think that's... Oh, it's an azalea tree. I think that's kind of how many people felt about Minecraft at that point, was that they were like, this game is kind of considerably different from any other game on the market. And it's got a lot more to offer players than ever before. And so I watched a lot of Minecraft at that time. I watched Sea Nanners, I watched Ant Venom, I watched Captain Sparkles. I even watched like the Noob Adventures of Minecraft, if you remember that series on Machinima. So I just watched so many different series at that time. I thought it was just incredible. I thought, you know, this is an incredible game. And unfortunately at that time, my family didn't have a computer, or we did have a computer, but it wasn't like I couldn't use it to play Minecraft. So I think my dad used it for work or something. And then finally, like a year later, in May 2012, it released on the Xbox 360, which at that time, my dad pretty much just let me pretty much have the Xbox 360 because he didn't really use it anymore. So that was my first real experience with the game. And for those who don't know, the Xbox 360 edition was on beta 1.6, I believe, or beta something. I don't remember what beta it was on. One of the very old beta versions, but not too old. And so that's why I love beta Minecraft, but it kind of came from that. And I played the Xbox edition. Oops. Oh god. Gotta get out of this cave. Okay. So yeah, I pretty much played the Xbox edition for the entirety of the summer of 2012. Like, I mean, pretty much every day I played it. And I loved it. I loved it. And I had some other friends that I played with. Shout out to Jacob if you're watching this. Jacob and I used to play that a lot. And a few other friends from school. And then from there in September or October 2012, I got it for I think I got it for this. We had it on a different computer beforehand, but I got a laptop from my parents. It was just a very old, it was not old, but it was a Windows 8 laptop. And Windows 8 is shit, so I don't really blame them. It was kind of just really, it was kind of just my first real, like, kind of experience into PC Minecraft. And from there, I kind of just been playing pretty much every month since. There's been some months I've taken a break and just kind of played other games, but really no other game has kind of captured my interest quite like Minecraft. I don't even know where we are. We're just kind of in this weird kind of hilly area that's pretty nice, but it's not mountainy, it's just hilly. Let's go downhill. Down here. Okay, so from there, I pretty much just, you know, like I said, I've played Minecraft, so I've seen the ups and downs, and I've seen it grow in popularity beyond belief, and then fall in popularity beyond belief, right? And so I guess when people say what went wrong with the game, I disagree with most people when it comes to that, because people say that the game kind of went downhill like very recently. Some people say it went downhill after Notch stepped down as the lead developer, and some people say the game went downhill like, you know, when Microsoft took over in 2014 or whatever. And so when people say all those things, I kind of just like, nah, I don't think so. I don't think any of those dates are true. The thing is, Minecraft has had a overall decline in terms of kind of its own image over the last decade. I think as there's a village right there. Yes, I added villages just because, I mean, villages are cool, dude. Okay, don't be that dude who hates villages. Obviously, they can be a little OP, so I'm not gonna go there right now. But that is a really cool village location. It's kind of on an island. But we'll go to that some other time. So yeah, I think Minecraft just kind of had an overall decline. I think I think it really started when Beta 1.8 was released, and that was the update that added the new terrain generation, and then added things like hunger and such, which, in my opinion, pretty much made the game pretty boring. It didn't really make the game interesting to me. And I'm trying to think, where should we set up a base real quick? One second, before we continue on, let me... What time is it? It's turning night, so we gotta make a little base somewhere. I want to build one right in there, but I feel like I don't have anything to really build it in with. Is there a mound or something? Can't see any. I mean, that's a mound, I guess, but not what I'm looking for. I'll have to find something to kind of call home. I don't want to be out in the night. I'm scared. Okay, I'm obviously not going down there. All right, I think we should just... This is bad. This is really bad. We'll just set here. We'll go here. There's a creeper right there. So we'll make some sticks. Let's just hope this creeper does not find us. So I'll continue what I was going to say in a second. I just want to put a little base right here for right now. Maybe a little hidey hole right here for the night. Let's make a door. Okay. Just kind of make a little decoration here. Oh, that looks awesome. Look at that. We already got some decoration going on already in this world. Beta 1.8 added a lot of things that kind of made the game dull. And I mean, like, it added things that just kind of made the game just so boring to play in terms of just how it looked and everything. And I think the biomes that were added is like the perfect example of that. The biomes added in Beta 1.8 were just so bad. And I think they were so bad that... And I don't know how true this is, because I'm just saying from personal experience, but they kind of killed single-player survival. Like, I have not enjoyed a single-player survival world, like, really in general, from those biomes. Because it's just, the thing is that you can explore the world as much as you can travel the world as much as you want, and you can see as much as you want, but it really doesn't make a difference, because at the end of the day, you've seen everything. You're going to see and do everything, and... in terms of just what the world looks like, there's no unique generation. And that's just kind of where that's just my thing. I think that's really what kind of killed this kind of age of Minecraft. Yeah, I think that was just such a misstep, and I don't get why they did that. But it's hurt the game ever since, right? We haven't had, like, really... I mean, we've had people do single-player worlds, but not many... kind of crazy ones, other than those who use replay mod and such to kind of like make it more interesting. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I just killed that dude's parents. Rip. I'll put you out of your misery. Like that's the thing that really kind of ruined the game in terms of its replayability. And then it just got even worse. Like, they didn't do anything about it. People were complaining about the biomes for years. And I mean, they were complaining about it for, I don't even know how many years people were complaining about it for. Pretty much still to this day, people are still complaining about it. They've added new biomes, like the dark forest and the ice spikes and the such, which are cool in their own ways, yeah. But they haven't really changed the game too much and made the game kind of fun. They've given more interest and maybe have, caused people to play the world again, but nothing too crazy. Here, we're gonna collect this copper. Yeah, so if we go back to what I was saying, that kind of ruined so much of the game. Like, it just made it so boring to play and all that. And then people, you know, like I said, they requested the Mojang. Can you guys change this? Can you just add new biomes that, you know, kind of look cooler? And the biomes added are okay. So they did something with that at least. And then they kind of, when people asked to revamp the biomes, they just kind of ignored it. They just ignored it. And they still to this day ignore it. I think there's like the biome vote and they just completely ignored that, which is just like, okay. And so that's kind of just where my disappointment lays in Mojang. It's just, they did stuff like that. And then they add other things that are, in my opinion, kind of completely useless. And I think the perfect example of that is like the recent mobs they've been adding. And you have all of these mobs, which I'll probably put on screen, and I've probably put this on screen before. These are all useless mobs in their own way. They don't add anything to the game that really makes the gameplay change too much. And these development resources could be used to make other things, or maybe make other mobs that would make the game so much better. And it's just frustrating. It's just frustrating to kind of play this game, and then they announce an update, and then they add an animal that's just no one asked for, really, and it's just kind of useless. I think I'm gonna keep that tree there. I think it looks kind of nice. It's just angering to me that they do that. Here, we're gonna create a chest. We're gonna increase the size of this a little bit. Oh, listen to that chest sound, guys. And as for like the most recent update, people are gonna say, well, they'll be like, the camel's really cool, look at it, or whatever, it's awesome. It actually has a use, unlike the other animals. And you're right, it does have a use, okay? But the question is that the camel can have 2 players on it, it can have all of these things, right? But then what is the purpose of the horse? Like, what does the horse exist for? And then it's just like, okay, so that's the problem, is that they added an animal, which is cool. They added an animal that's actually useful. That's more than half of the mobs already in the game. That's awesome, okay? But you just added an animal that replaced an already useful animal. Like, they have just some weird design principles, too, with that kind of thing, where they don't want to do kind of stuff that will ruin the environment. So that's why they haven't had sharks, because, you know, the environment, sharks are endangered, which I get, but like, it's a fucking game, dude. Like, I'm sorry, but it's a game. Of course, these people shouldn't be hated on for not adding these things. It's a reasonable, it's a reasonable reason, but it's just kind of like look, this chicken, man, I just killed a chicken. That really kind of messes with your message a little bit. And that's just kind of how I feel. It's just kind of weird. That's cool right there. I want to go over that way. Well, I don't want to get too far from our little abode because, well, maybe we'll come back. But I just kind of feel like they don't deserve hate. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, they don't deserve hate. Anyone who tries to give them like so much hate and call them like lazy and stuff, they're not lazy, okay? But I do think that they don't have good design choices. They just kind of do random kind of shit. And then we have to kind of suffer and then be like, why did you add this? Who thought this was a good idea? You know? Moss box kind of look cool. I like it's kind of a weird, it reminds me of the old Faithful texture pack. Alright, so we got a spruce ship here. Ooh, some leather pants. There are enchants on things, but I don't know how useful they really are. I mean, they kind of are broken a little bit on that pants, but got another chest here. I think there is another chest on here. Yes, right here. Buried treasure map. I'll take that. So there's no X on this. That's awesome. Oh, that was just a normal map? All right, well, let's head back home because we got a bunch more stuff. But it's just that they, like I said, they have kind of just these really bad design philosophies. They just have no direction in the game at all. They just don't. And it's bad. It's kind of bad how like this is going on, because it's shown now, because like with the wild update, it's shown that they don't have these kind of good fundamentals. And I mean, they make some good updates, yeah, but they also have added things that kind of just don't do anything, man. Like this wild update coming up, or the wild update that just released, and then the update 1.20 is just terrible, man. And they've made good updates. I apologize for saying that they haven't made good updates. They've made good updates. Like, I think the Caves and Cliffs update was very good. And I think people who hate on that are stupid, because that update was great. And that's just kind of what... Oh god, man, I need to get back to my house. Go, 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 dude, go. If you hold W and like A or something at the same time, actually can go faster. Yeah, they just release these kind of terrible updates sometimes, and it just kind of sets the game back. And I remember when Minecraft really hit its kind of dark years, quote unquote, when it really went to its worst point, was like with updates like 1.10, which added polar bears, which are probably one of the worst mobs they ever added in the game, because there's so much potential there, and they didn't do anything with it because, one, you know, their environmental message, you know, they don't want you to kill a polar bear for its skin or something, and so they made it pretty much a useless mob. Really, it's just kind of cool to have around. Other than that, it just has nothing. That's what I'm saying by, like, I feel like we're going back to that. We're adding, they're going back to adding mobs that just kind of either remove the purpose of other mobs, like I said, like with the like the horse, right? That's like, now the horse has no purpose, or they're gonna add mobs like the frog, which are just completely useless. Ow, bro, calm down, dude. And that's just kind of where I feel Minecraft has kind of fallen off, is that they just add so much stuff that just doesn't have any direction, and we all have to kind of sit there and wonder what's next for the game. And then they do stuff like the mob vote, which I've always kind of said to people that the mob vote's just a scam, dude. It's a scam. It's just a way to get people to give attention to the game, and they don't really add anything cool, honestly. They always add like the worst kind of shit in the fucking mob votes. Yeah, that's kind of my view on those. As you can tell, I'm pretty passionate about that. All right, so let's... Oh, no. Oh, God, wait. I mean, that's kind of cool. I think it's, like, realistic, but I kind of like dirt paths. Kind of a shame, but we're going to work with that. There's a mod I added. I have to give credit to it right now. I'll have to put on screen on what this mod is. I forgot. But it adds, like, copper tools, it adds emerald tools, and it adds like a bunch of other tools, which I could technically make an emerald sword, but I don't know if I want to make one. Let's find a little cave. I don't think Minecraft is going to die. I don't think it's going to go back to how it was before the whole revival thing. I think it's concerning that... Oh, there's some coral. We'll take some of those later on. I think it's concerning that I think we're kind of coming back to that, where we're having updates that just don't really do anything and don't really help the game. We'll have to see. I just think Mojang needs to listen to the community when it comes to this, because this is like one of those things that they didn't listen to the community before, and it's caused the game to kind of die off. And then they're not listening to the community again, and the game is kind of starting to slip in terms of, like, people are angry right now, so that's why it's popular, is that people are angry popular, right? But once people just start getting like frustrated with the game and don't want to play it, that's the problem. That's when your game's kind of in danger. Minecraft is kind of going down that path again, which is very concerning, not in terms of just like the game itself, but in terms of like content creation. I don't want to be that guy who joins in and the game's kind of already falling apart. And that's kind of what I worry about. But, you know, that's why I kind of am advocating for people and Mojang to listen to the community and stop adding kind of useless shit, to be honest. We're going to make a boat and go back. I know I just created another crafting table, but... Okay, so they kind of function... Wait, this is the test. This is the test. Okay, no, back in the day, we all know what happened. Those boats sucked. They would just crash into walls. But I actually like this boat a lot. It doesn't feel as fluid as the modern one, but it still feels fluid enough to be acceptable, unlike the old one. So that's kind of my feelings on the game. I think it just lacks any kind of direction, and Mojang just doesn't listen to the community at all. And as for how long this has been going on for, it's been going on for a while, okay? I don't think anyone who thinks that it's been going on recently is telling the truth. It's been going on for quite some time. So kind of my views on the game, at least. We will probably play till the end of this in-game day, and then I think I'm gonna kind of cut it off for today, kind of see how this does and edit it all up, and then I really want to find a good cave, but there's just not. Okay, there's a good cave right there. That's a classic Minecraft cave. That is the signature Minecraft cave. Whoa. Wait, is that what I think it is? Oh, we may have gotten lucky. Oh, we may have gotten. Oh, I think it is. Oh, and it may be a skeleton spawner. If so, that's gonna be a pain to clear out. Oh, it is. Let's go. Got a music disc, melon seeds. Oh, there's another one. Oh my. Okay, we got a lot of stuff here. Name tag, that's perfect. And sulfur, that's not entirely accurate to beta 1.7.3, but I'll let it slide. I'll let it slide. Okay, we'll come back. We'll save this for later. We should just mine this coal, and then next episode we'll go further into this cave, okay? Because I don't want to go into it today and make this way longer than it needs to be. So we'll leave here, take a little our little berry bush, low berries or whatever. Mine this little iron here. Oh, let's get that out of here. I'd like to hear what you guys think, because that's kind of my main thing. I mean, everything else in terms of like how easy the game is and stuff, that's kind of for the beta video. The beta video pretty much covers that. But I just kind of, the reason why I like beta so much, I guess, to summarize before we end, is because it's very simplistic. It's just very, there's not, you know, like I said, there's a direction to it. It's just, you survive, man. You build in the world and you survive and do what you want. There's not like so much different stuff in the game that kind of causes you to wonder what to do and whatever. And I think that's just kind of what modern Minecraft is missing. So yeah, that's kind of just my view. We'll put a little flower here. Okay. Oh, so before I finish real quick, I want to show this mod off. I'm going to put it on screen. I forgot its name, but it adds copper armor. Yeah, it adds copper armor. Look at that. I don't think it is better than anything else, but we'll get our little copper block here. Got some copper block action going on here. Man. All right, well, I think we're going to put everything else up here for right now. And I guess that really kind of concludes episode 1 of We'll Go to Sleep. But I guess that really concludes episode 1 of BetaReborn. I really apologize if this sucks. I don't really know how well I am, but I'm just kind of glad to try this out. We'll see how this series goes. If you guys want another episode or whatever, if you guys want to bully me in the comments, that's fine with me. But if you want a part 2, let me know. I will have to say thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to do a little thing where, hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to... No, but thank you guys so much for watching. Have a good day, and I will see you in the next video, and goodbye.